Hello students, welcome to Energy Conversion 2 class. We are doing with chapter 3, that is synchronous motor, and today's topic for discussion is synchronous motor with different excitation and constant load. So, synchronous motor with different excitation and constant load. Prior to understanding this synchronous motor excitation, it should be remembered that any electromagnetic device must draw a magnetizing current from the AC source to produce the required working flux. This magnetizing current lags by almost 90 degrees to the supply voltage. In other words, we can also say that the function of this magnetizing current or lagging volt ampere drawn by the electromagnetic device is to set up the flux in the magnetic circuit of the device. So, this magnetizing current is responsible for the setup of flux in the magnetic device. Again, the synchronous motor is doubly fed electrical motor. Synchronous converts electrical energy to mechanical energy. This synchronous motor converts the electrical energy to mechanical energy via a magnetic circuit. Hence, it comes under electromagnetic devices. It receives three-phase AC electrical supply to its armature winding and DC supply is provided to the rotor winding. Due to availability of both one AC electrical supply and another DC supply, this machine is known as doubly fed electrical motor. So, synchronous motor excitation refers to the DC supply which is given to the rotor, which is used to produce the required magnetic flux. So, the DC input supply given to the rotor is nothing but the synchronous motor excitation. And this DC supply or this excitation is very much responsible for production of required magnetic flux. One of the major and unique characteristics of this motor is that it can be operated at any electrical power factor, leading, lagging, or we can say unity. And this feature is based on the excitation of the synchronous motor. When the synchronous motor is working at constant applied voltage, let's say V volts, the resultant air gap flux as demanded by V remains substantially constant. This resultant air gap flux is established by the cooperation of both AC supply of the armature winding and DC supply of the rotor winding. Both the supply are responsible for the resultant air gap flux. So, first of all, we will go to case 1. What it tells about? It is like when the field current is sufficient enough to produce the air gap flux as demanded by the constant voltage V, then the magnetizing current or lagging reactive volt ampere required from AC source is 0 and the motor operates at unity power factor. This is the case number 1, which is the case of unity power factor. Here, the field current which causes this unity power factor is called normal excitation, or we can say normal field current. What happens here we will see. We can see this is the origin 0, this is the voltage, and of course this is the current, armature current, and we know for unity power factor case always current and voltage will overlap. They will have angle 0 between them, that is the current phasor and voltage phasor will be in same phase, same direction. And yes, this is the back EMF developed, EB, from here to here, and the angle between voltage phasor and back EMF is phi, alpha. And here we can see this is the resultant EMF, ER, whose formula is IA into ZS. So, the angle between the origin and the resultant EMF is theta. And here we can see from this point, this is IA into XH, and the angle between IA phasor and IA XS phasor is 90 degree. So, this is the phasor diagram for case 1. Now, case 2, what happens here? If the field current is not sufficient enough to produce the required air gap flux as demanded by supply voltage V, an additional magnetizing current or lagging reactive volt ampere is drawn from the AC source. Then what happens? This magnetizing current produces the deficient flux, constant flux set up by the DC supply rotor winding. So, hence, in this case, the motor is said to operate under lagging power factor, and then it is said to be under excited. Means this is the case of under excitation. So, here we can see the phasor diagram. So, here we have a lagging power factor case. We have taken voltage reference V as a reference. Here IA, the armature current will be lagging, and the angle between voltage and current phasor is phi. So, here OA is the reference. Now, from A to C is the back EMF generated, EB, and similarly the angle is alpha. Here also the angle is alpha. This reflection we have drawn here so that it would be easier to do the calculations. And no doubt this is the ER, which is the resultant EMF. Its formula is IA into ZS, and the angle between resultant EMF and armature current is theta. Now, case 3. What happens here? If the field current is more than the normal field current, motor is said to be overexcited. This excess field current produces excess flux, or flux set up by DC supply rotor winding, the resultant air gap flux we can say, which must be neutralized by the armature winding. Hence, the armature winding draws leading reactive volt ampere, or we can say demagnetizing current leading voltage by almost 90 degree from the AC source. Hence, in this case, the motor operates under leading power factor. Listen, this is the case of leading power factor. Here we can analyze the phasor diagram. Here O to A we have taken voltage as reference. As this is the case of leading power factor, IA will lead V. IA is leading V, and the angle between I and V is phi. Here AC is the back EMF EB. The angle between voltage reference and back EMF is alpha. And let me remember you, this EB is taken here only due to being easier in the calculation and all. So from O to C you can see this is the resultant EMF IA into Z dash, and again as usual the angle between resultant EMF and armature current is theta. So thank you.